Letter to Earth. My name is Kyle, or Nightmarish, and this is episode 11 called Keeping Our Meat Capsules Alive. I'll be talking about kind of a different topic, about helping us with wellness, our health, as I will get into it, but I've recently found that physical health is something that's really important. It's really important. It's something we need to talk about and understand what's best for us. So, anyways, I have a couple topics to talk about before we get into that main topic. Firstly, we're going to talk about how this is being done. I am going to start pre-recording these episodes before I release it onto Twitch. Ideally, I want to make Twitch where it comes out first. So I want Twitch to be where people will hear it first. Now, unfortunately, this particular podcast won't have it that way because, unfortunately, I kind of was not feeling good and I didn't get the podcast recorded in time. And, unfortunately, I didn't quite get it done on time. But from now on, I'm going to pre-record the episodes and then premiere exclusively on Twitch first. That way, and even while it's going on right now, during this time, this is so then we can pause the episode and have a discussion and debate about certain parts of the episode. We have the raise hand command. I am going to be editing it, making it so then when you raise that, I will stop the podcast. So I'm going to make it a little bit worth of points if you have a debate thing. And I'll have a timer on it too. But if you want to debate about the topic that I'm talking about at the time, this way, subscriber chat is gone. Because I'm already pretty much doing this when I was live anyways. I was already recording the podcast and just ignoring what you guys are saying. But that's not what I wanted to do here. Because maybe you don't want to listen to the whole thing. Maybe you hear a snippet of it and you want to talk about that particular topic right at this moment. Well, now this is so then we can do that. We can have a debate. And we can have talk about all the topics I talk about. And that is great. And I think that's why subscriber chat is no longer needed. We can engage more. So then this is not just it's not just one side talking. Because I say about debate and I want to debate. And then we also still have the after show where we go on and talk more too if we want to. But that's kind of what I want to do for the podcast from now on. I'll be pre-recording it in the week. And I will be trying to release it on Saturday. I'll try, and if I can release it Saturday, I'll try to have a live play first before I release it to everyone on Twitch first. So I'll play it first exclusively for people on Twitch. We'll see how the recording goes for that, because I wasn't liking the sound quality on Twitch on the past few replays, so I might be doing 8, 9, and 10 again. No, not 8, 9. I'll be doing 9, 10, and 11 all over again, and we will go from there. Anyways, guys, it's now time for a Freedom Update! So, from what I'm seeing, today being the 12th of February, looks like more provinces, states, and countries around the world are changing up their COVID policies. Some may have clamped down. I'm not talking about those. We don't need to deal with those negative Nellies. We're going to talk about the people, the countries, and places that are bringing freedom. And for Freedom Update, I want to talk about my province. Because my province announced earlier this week that on Sunday, tomorrow, at midnight, all poke restrictions end. Right now we have the poke restriction where you have to show your passport in order to get into restaurants or swimming pools and inside those kind of buildings. And so we have that policy on right now. But it is going to end this Sunday. So this Sunday is going to end. And then at the end of February, all mask restrictions will end. However, not to be outdone, our neighbors in Alberta announced just hours later that they would end all of their poke restrictions that night. And mask restrictions would be end on Monday. Jason Kenney, who is the premier of Alberta, Jason Kenney is the premier of Alberta, and Scott Moe is the premier of Saskatchewan. If you don't know about premiers, premiers are kind of like governors. Like they are kind of like the heads of smaller states and deal with the inner states or inner provincial stuff or district stuff, I guess you could say. Small, grand scale things. I'm not sure if people deal with provinces, districts, or states. That's just kind of who they are. They're the leaders of them. They're not Justin Trudeau level, but they're the next person down, essentially. They have control over their little area. Anyways, Kenny from Alberta announced, that they're going to end it that night. They just wanted to one-up each other. Like, Jason Kenney wanted to one-up Scott Moe. Which is amazing. It's awesome. I'm loving seeing it. I'm seeing it in places in the United States, and across the world are easing them. And that's great. End the mask mandates and get everyone breathing again. I've heard some places that they're going to keep mask mandates at schools. No, come on. Everyone deserves freedom, even including the little ones. Little ones should not be masked up either. If you don't have to mask, the kids should not have to mask either. That's all part about freedom, alright? So, one thing Scott Moe said during a speech, which I really enjoyed, I listened to it. I haven't really been liking him so much because he hasn't been so level-headed, but this is the most level-headed speech he had. I'm going to be paraphrasing what he said, but essentially it went roughly along the lines of, and I obviously I'm using code words, the poke policy was created to encourage people to get it, because he wanted to make sure people got the poke. However, intentionally it created a two-class system where we discriminated against the poked and the unpoked. At the time, these measurements were necessary to keep everyone safe for their health, but now the time for the measurements are up. We do not want to create a two-class system where discrimination is allowed to run rampant. The time for these measurements are up, and it's time to move forward and not have division between those who are poked and those who are not. We should not punish people or judge people for their choices. And that's roughly the end of the quote. I apologize. It's not word for word. But Moe is right. Scott Moe is right. Like, a lot of these policies have created division, and it has only been made worse by other politicians, mainstream media, social media, celebrities, big tech companies. They all just push it and make people who are unpoked feel like garbage. They're second-class citizens. Well, that's how they want to treat us. That's how they want to treat us. They want to treat everyone who's unpoked as second-class citizens. But here's the wonderful thing. The beautiful thing is this trucker rally that's been happening. This trucker rally that's been happening has really shown us something, that we all want freedom. And we should be uniting against tyranny and people who want to take away our freedoms. Like, so far, all I'm hearing division-wise, the people who don't support this, are people who want us divided. They don't want us to be united. Because they probably get some benefit from the government. Special interest groups are going to tell you, oh, no, everyone of this special interest group, you can't be following that trucker thing because they don't support our things, or what we want. No, they're trying to get freedom back because right now all the governments are thinking of is vid. It's in their minds. It's vid. All the time. Alright? That's all they are. That's all that's in their head. If you want things to change for your issues, you need to stop getting the thing that's stuck in their head, which is vid. Once you get vid out of the way, then you probably can get the politicians to start doing what you want, if they feel like doing that. It's absolutely crazy. We need to come together and unite over this. We all want freedom. We don't want the boots of government on the back of our necks. We need to keep going until everyone's free. The freedom is done. We need to start demanding. We know something's wrong. Alright? It's starting to happen, but it's not time to quit now. Not everyone is free yet. Because, you know what? The only way everyone will get freedom is the silent majority does not remain silent. And guess what? Honk honk, motherfuckers. We're not silent anymore. Alright? Now some politicians want to call us a fringe minority, but I say we are the silent no more majority. That's what the truckers have done for us. I thank you, truckers. I thank you for everything you have done and what you're showing everyone to give everyone the guts and the chutzpah to get going, to demand freedom back, to get it back. And look, you're scaring politicians into doing some policies right now. And yeah, some scientists are starting to say, oh, okay, it's time to change. We need to get moving forward. You know what? It is time for policies to change. And it's time for us to get moving on with our life. Because we all have other health issues. We all have other health issues. Our meat capsules are not just run by COVID. There's other issues. And that's kind of what we're talking about in episode 11 of 6 Letter to Earth. I'm going to give you some tips on how I keep my meat capsule alive and how you may too. So, anyways, let's get on to it. Let's get ready for the next episode of 6 Letter to Earth. Hello. And yes, this is episode 11, 6 Letter to Earth, keeping our meat capsule alive. So, today I'm going to be talking about health tips. Health tips, discoveries I've made of connecting my body health with my mind health. As you know, this past November, I was going along streaming and podcasting. I was going along with it when all of a sudden I had to stop. I was trying to get my energy back and get going, but I just stopped. My energy fell dramatically, and I started to be in a constant state of pain. I was having a hard time meditating and focusing on what I need to do. I stopped playing video games. I literally wanted to crawl in a hole and rot away. To be honest, the only thing that kept me alive was weed. I smoke regularly to deal with the pain, and honestly, my family helps me out a lot too, but, you know, it's been tough. I almost didn't think I was going to record this episode because of how much pain it is. This week has been particularly bad. I literally was crippled. I was just like, it's crippling pain. Like, I'm walking and all of a sudden I cramp up and it's like, ah! And it sucks because I still have to wait a month, roughly, till I can get on to the next step of diagnosing this thing. I have been diagnosed with is inflammation in my intestines, but if you put that chronic inflammation, let's put that chronic inflammation in my intestines, which is either Crohn's disease or colitis, ulcerative colitis. So, but the one thing is, I was noticing when my pain got really bad and everything, I tried really hard to be spiritual. I could not get spiritual. I could not get meditated into the meditative state. I could not meditate that well. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And now I understand we gotta try to keep this meat vessel alive. The discovery is important because I made a few adjustments, and this not just about me and Crohn's, but it's also with me and life. There's some little health tips that we can do to help ourselves kind of nurture our meat capsules for our spirit. We're spirits in a human body. We're in a meat capsule. So we gotta keep our meat capsule alive to work onto our spiritual self. So, and we won't be able to unleash our full potential if we're bogged down by pain and hurt. And if we're not keeping ourselves healthy, our spiritual selves could be at jeopardy. I'm not going to say I'm the healthiest person before all this either, but I do sure know once I get my energy back, I'm not going to take it for granted. But we need to take care of ourselves in order to release our full potential. So the first tip we're going to talk about is probably the one thing we do pretty much all the time. And it's the thing that affects us the most. It's the thing that we spend the most of the time doing, and it may not seem like you're doing much, but it is one of the most important things, and that is sleep. You need to sleep, because sleep is everything. It sets in motion everything you are going to be doing for the rest of the day. You need to be able to sleep. You need to... I know it's hard to get done, and it's really difficult because we have so many things that keep us awake and stress us out. But we gotta try to get our mind to shut down. And we gotta try to get our minds to wander and try to rest. Meditating, using other sounds to help relaxing yourself. We gotta find ways. You also gotta give yourself time, because here's the thing. Here's one thing. I used to work in shift work, right? Some days I would start at 4 p.m. and end at 3. The other one I would start at 6 and end at 4:30. So those were my 2 shifts. Either way, no matter what, I always need 3 hours no matter what. So whenever I was going on the night shift, I was always up till, from 3 hours, always up till 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't go to sleep because I needed that time to wind down. So you always got to make sure you wind yourself down a bit before you go. You got to try to keep your screens off, because the screens also mess with our eyes. We got to de-stress, breathe, have Epsom salt bath or smoke, something. You got to do something to de-stress, and it's so hard. It's so hard. I know it is. You got to try to make sure your bed's comfy. You got to make sure you're laying in the right position. You got to make sure you've done enough activities in the day to make sure you are okay. Sleep is probably the most important thing, because it sets everything in motion. And it's the one you do the least amount of work to do. And I get it. Sometimes it's really hard. It's difficult. This is probably the worst one for everyone. I'm going to tell you right now. Out of all this is probably the hardest one. But it's the easiest one without the less activity, less thinking about it. But with the other ones, you kind of got to do a little bit more work. And it's crazy. But sleeping is the first one. All right. Now, we're going to talk about eating and nutrients and vitamins. So for me, with my Crohn's, I know in my intestines, where you absorb a lot of your vitamins and a lot of your nutrients come in, since I have inflammation there, I don't get my inflammation. I don't get as many vitamins. So I have to take extra vitamins. But don't have to have Crohn's. You don't have to have Crohn's. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to have vid around to do it. I'll explain why I say vid. To have nutrients and vitamins, you need to have this. And I'll talk about eating food in the next bit, in the next section here. But first, we're talking about nutrients and vitamins, because this is the first thing you can do in the day. Just have vitamins, get them all in, and it's all good. Vid, if you're scared of vid, you want to know something? There's a study in Israel, and I'll post the link into the chat right now. Go future me. Anyways, this link pretty much shows there's a study between vitamin D and the intensity and strength of vid. And the more vitamin D you had, the less likely you were going to be hospitalized, and more likely you would not feel many symptoms. You wouldn't get many severe symptoms. Look, vitamin D is awesome. I gotta get some of that vitamin D. I love it. Seriously, it's amazing. It's the sun. It's the sun vitamin. You get it from the sun. It just changes so much. I was studying vitamin D deficiencies, and I started to find out, that's kind of what I'm feeling. Vitamin D controls so much of your life. And in winter, and in COVID times particularly, we haven't been getting very much sun. We've been stuck inside because we don't get much vitamin. We don't get the sun rays anymore because we have to be stuck inside. So we gotta make sure we get that vitamin D. Get the supplements. Get the drops. I do the drops. There's also some pills you can take. Get the vitamin D. Vitamin D is so important. Alright? Honestly, I can't stress it enough. Vitamin D literally is probably one of the more important ones. Vitamin C is so easy to get. You get that from everything. You don't need to worry about vitamin C. But it's a good one to have. It's a good one to have. Vitamin C is a really good one. So, and now, let's go to... Now you got your vitamins and minerals, and you get them from wherever source you have in a pill. You gotta eat. you gotta eat in the morning. So, and this is the hardest one, I've gotta say, is eating properly, or eating what you need to eat. Now, I haven't tried an official diet to try to help myself lose weight. However, I'm trying to work on one that will work with my Crohn's, or colitis, my inflammation, because I can't really eat too many, I gotta watch things, because things will trigger me to cramp worse and flare up worse, and it just doesn't go in my intestines. But, yeah, one thing I can't give advice for is if you're going the diet route. I don't know what diet works for everyone. I don't know what, I don't know what diet route you guys are going on, and I'm not a dietitian, but I've seen a few diets out there, and I have a couple of observations I know. Water. Drink a lot of water. Stay hydrated, guys. You know what? I'm going to have a drink right now. Future me too, you're going to have a drink too. Alright? Let's open my bottle. I don't have water with me, but G0, future me is going to make sure he has water with him, and he's going to make sure he has a drink. Okay? I forgot to take water with me into the shed, so I want everyone to pause this and get a drink of water. I'll wait. If you pause this, you still haven't heard this yet, and you just got some water, and then you're just hearing this afterwards. I'm just joking. But anyways, water is so important. It keeps you hydrated. It keeps you going. And you know what? Okay, I gotta tell you a story about water. I don't know if anyone's done this, but if you get super, 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 super hydrated, first off, you're going to pee a lot. Like, for the first little while. When you're drinking all this water. You just keep going. And you got to pee a lot, sure. But there's also a little bit of a water high. Like, you feel so enlightened, so amazing. The problem is it's so hard to drink water, isn't it? It's so hard. Like, I remember the amount I got. And, like, I have a bottle that's supposed to show how much you're supposed to drink in a day? How is someone supposed to drink that? We like, it's so hard. I know we should just put our heads down and drink it, but it's literally hard. We're supposed to have 8 glasses a day, but like, it's like really, really hard to drink all that water, right? You know, it's so hard. So you gotta make sure you drink your water. You gotta need a lot of water, but anyways, I was drinking water for a different reason. I wasn't drinking it because I wanted to be hydrated. I was drinking it because I actually had a toothache, and I was having a cavity issue in my back of my teeth. My teeth aren't good, anyways. I don't like showing my teeth too much if I can help it. But I was having toothache, and I was trying everything to get the pain to go away, just get it to stop, and nothing was working. So one thing I was told to do is to try to get water on, to drink water and hold it into my cheek. That's what I did. I put water in my cheek, hold it there, and it eased the pain a little bit, and then I drink it. But I was doing that a lot. And I was driving truck. First off, I had to stop everywhere to go pee. So, and that sucks when you're long distance driving. You just want to keep going, but you gotta stop to pee. It sucks. But, secondly, I was just getting hyper. I was getting really excited. Like, oh my god, I feel really great. I felt like $1,000,000. Water, everyone. That's some shit right there. Anyways, the other thing is, when you're on a diet, it's important to make sure you have your meals. You can't skip meals. I know people can fast, and I'm sorry, I don't believe in fasting. Like, people, well, first off, it takes great discipline to fast, but to do it properly, you gotta fast properly. That's too much. For an average person, fasting doesn't work. Like, I've seen my wife. My wife she goes on diets a lot, and she always tries this liquid diet or tries to fast. But I tell you, whenever it happens, if she breaks it, it's worse than if she had just kept eating. And that's the thing. You will lose weight, like, if you eat properly. You just gotta make sure you have the right calories. You gotta have, like, a lot of vegetables. You gotta have a lot of, like, you gotta have some meat in there. You gotta have some protein. You can't skip out on that. You need to eat. Like, or get some nutrients. You gotta do it. You gotta figure out some way you can't not eat. Like, you gotta try to find a way to do it. But then, no, you don't need a constant, like you can't stop. You can't skip meals and everything. I just find that it doesn't do your body good. Because if you keep ingesting the right nutrients, your body will use it up. Because you'll use it up. And here's the other thing. Your metabolism, that helps you eat and not gain weight, if your body's running all the time, it'll use it all up. Because if you're eating, your body still is using more energy. So essentially, let's say that, like, here's a theory I've heard and I've seen, where people will be like, oh, I'm not going to eat anything, but I'm going to eat so that I don't get too bad. I'll just have a burger, right? Instead, what they could have done is throughout the day, been like, or you're trying to save for a buffet, right? But what you could have done instead, and buffets are, I don't know, probably not the best idea, but whatever. Yeah, to each their own. I don't want to be judgy, but, but instead of, like, if you're trying to starve yourself to have one big meal, like, let's say, oh, I know I'm going to have spaghetti tonight. So I don't want to eat anything at all. First off, breakfast. Breakfast. You need to eat that breakfast, okay? I don't care what you guys say. Start eating breakfast. I'm going to tell you a story. When I was a kid, I was 3 years old, I used to live in a house with my mom, my dad, and my grandfather, all right? Now, my dad woke up early to go to work all the time, all right? So this is like about 5 a.m. He always woke up, all right? My grandfather, being the early bird he is, always woke up about 6. My mom, having to take care of my sister and I, woke up at 7, all right? That was the times. Guess what? 5 o'clock, I woke up with my dad. My dad gave me some oatmeal or cereal. My grandpa, he gave me some oatmeal at 6. And at 7, my mom, I had 3 breakfasts, a lot. I had so much breakfast. I love breakfast. Oatmeal and cereal, eggs, toast, bacon. Oh, I can't have bacon, but, it's so important. I'm telling you, if you guys want to have better days go on and you want to have energy to be able to do anything, get yourself some breakfast, all right? Splurge a little bit because it's your first meal of the day, and how your first meal of the day goes will determine how the rest of your day is going to go. Breakfast is so important. It's so important. You can't skip meals. You can't skip meals. And then you're like, oh, I had a big breakfast, I can't eat lunch. Find a way to get a small thing in there. That's where you can have a small salad, a small sandwich. You don't need much for your supper. This is your final meal. This is where you want your big, meaty protein one, because you want it to weigh down. You want it to make you ready to go to sleep so your body can take all those nutrients and build you up. You want all that. That's what you want right now. That's why you eat supper at night. That's why it's a big hearty meal. That's why you want this big spaghetti meal at that time. Maybe make it a little lighter, but spaghetti meal or turkey, the chicken, all that. That's why you do it. That's why you do that. You put it at the end of the day, so then your body's heavy and you're ready to go to sleep. All right, you're ready to go to sleep. All right. The other thing besides not skipping meals, you gotta make sure you can't be eating unhealthy all the time, guys. Like, I know it's out of convenience and out of what's easy and what tastes good. It's hard to not eat crummy. I get it. There's so many times I just want to go and I just want to have a big full bag of chips. All right, but I have to opt out for something else. Like, my diet's a little weirder because I can't. It's so hard to find healthy foods that I can snack on. But there's so many out there. It just takes a little time to figure it out, and I'm still trying to figure out my diet. But I know before I wasn't on my diet, I used to enjoy hummus and carrots, or hummus and spinach. I used to take spinach and hummus. Like, I used to put hummus on a spinach leaf and roll it up into like a little cone, and then that's how it tasted. And you eat it straight like that. You could probably, if you had tomato, the tomato would be great. Oh, a tomato, hummus, and spinach rolled up, or something like that. That's a great snack, and hummus tastes amazing. All right, I'm gonna tell you right now, hummus is a great snack. I'm not even just saying that. I'm saying if you want a good food to eat with and to get your vegetables in that, hummus is great. And it gives you good fats, because there's some good fats that you need to have, right? Like, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not all that, but I do know that, like, hummus is good. I've always felt way better after I've had some hummus. Like, absolutely. And then you gotta make sure you have your fats. And then olive oil. Olive oil is great. Doesn't ruin the flavor whatever you're cooking. I love olive oil. Olive oil is probably the best way. Air fryers, I find with air fryers things don't taste as greasy. It tastes better. It doesn't seem like you're deep frying in oil, and it seems a lot better. The air frying seems to do a little bit better, and it tastes really good. It tastes amazing. Honestly, food is something I'm very passionate about because I'm a Taurus. Right? I love food. I love food, and seriously, inexpensive meal things. It's good healthy meal. Having a potato every once in a while is not that bad. Maybe throwing butter on it, it's not the greatest. Eggs are wonderful. I like having a boiled egg. One thing with eggs and me, I like to boil them. I like to do the boiled eggs. But there's that one spot. There's a spot for eggs. I don't like it right hard, but I don't like them runny. There's a special space. I call them perfectly boiled eggs. And what happens is these eggs are they're soft-ish in the inside, but they're not runny. That's my favorite egg, and those are great too. So these are all first things you can start working out. But then the last thing you need to do for your meat capsule to keep it alive is working out, getting exercise, moving. Now, not only do you need to treat yourself to, I'll get into that after, but working out and exercise is great. Honestly, I used to work out really well. I'm hoping to get back into it once I start feeling a little bit better. But lifting weights, I used to have a good routine. I want to get into walking again and get going on cardio. I'm hoping that will help me be energized and be healthy. But you don't have to do much. You just need to be able to walk around a little bit. Maybe lift a little bit of weights. I'm telling you, you need to. I'll give some advice that helped me with working out. First things first. If you're trying to lose weight, first off, set small goals. Don't set yourself a small goal so then it's easy to achieve, and then you can move it up afterwards. That starts making you feel better. All right. But then the other thing is, don't look at the scale. The scale is not who you are. Every day you look at the scale, you look at your weight, your number goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like if you do it every day, it's gonna be like, oh, you're higher this day, oh, you're lower this day, oh, you're back down there, oh no, you're back down, and then eventually it's probably like working its way down a little bit, depending on what you ate and how much working out you did. The scale doesn't need to be measured every day. You could probably get away with every 3 days or something like that, maybe twice a week maybe, is all you really need, because you're just going to fluctuate your numbers and you're going to get flustered and stressed because you're going to see that number go up and you're like, damn, I started working out today and my scale's only gone, it's not going down very much. Damn. Well, don't be upset. Don't stress about it. It's only been one day. You keep going. Maybe what if you got a policy like this? You start off at 250. You got down to on your first day. You went down to 247. That's great. Oh, you had a little spaghetti. You went up to 252. Oh, but then you went down to 256. You went up to 248, 245, and then what if it's a steady staircase down and you're losing weight? And obviously a proper diet and working out properly does that. Maybe if I get back working out, maybe I can show you guys my workout unit or the way I work out with my Bowflex. If I'm going to try to borrow a Bowflex I used to have, I'm going to see if I can get back into it and work out again. It is something I'm really excited about. I'm excited to get working out again and get my body, but it's so hard. Right now with my health, I'm just down and don't have the energy to work out. So, and from here, you just gotta try to work on pain in your health. Honestly, it's up to you who you trust with medicines, how you feel about relieving yourself of these. Personally, I say be wary of taking too many pills, too many drugs. I know for me, I try not to use Tylenol very much. Hence why I smoke a little too much, maybe. But I do think that it's important for everyone to make sure you trust yourself. That's the biggest thing when it comes to your body and in your health. You gotta trust yourself. If you don't feel right, go see a doctor. I know healthcare is not easy to find for everyone right now. I get it's a pain and it's difficult to find. But I'm telling you right now, when you work out and you find alternative measures, you find relief and everything, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find relief. And this is where, these are all just things I've felt, like I've learned. These are just my opinions. Do whatever you want. And hey, if you have some other health tips, leave them down below, or leave them in the chat and we can discuss them during the after show, or we can even debate it right now if you put up your hand. Like, our body, our meat capsule's gotta be good for us to be able to be our spiritual self. I know that we gotta treat ourselves good, and we gotta treat ourselves better in order for us to be good on this earth. We need it. We need our bodies. We're not gonna go anywhere if we are hemmed up with bad health, if we're coughing a lung out, we can't move anywhere. So we gotta try to stay healthy. And I know that's like, people may think, oh well, then that's what all these mandates were for and the vaccines for. It's just we're doing that. I get that, but like I said, whenever I think about the poke, I just get a bad feeling about it. That's my gut instinct. It's not that I'm afraid of needles. I've taken needles before, and I've already explained this. I've already got other pokes. But for some reason, when I think about this one, particular one, that's where I get nervous and a little, ugh. You gotta trust your health. Whatever you want to do with your health, that's for you, and you decide it. I can't tell you how for you to be healthy. I can't tell you how for you to live. That's for you to decide. Because you deserve your freedom of your choice. Because guess what? Here at Sixth Layer to Earth, we strive for freedom. Freedom to the world. Freedom to you. But most importantly, freedom to your mind. And I hope that freedom comes to everyone. I think we are slowly starting to get there. We're starting to free ourselves of the shackles that have been put upon us. And I think we are starting to come through this. So I want to thank you guys for listening to this podcast. I'm going to try to release these podcasts every Saturday. But if you want the first listen, which except for this week, I'm going to try to give the first listen to Twitch users on Saturday before I post it and publish it. My link tree will be coming up on the Twitch, Future Me. There you go. Future Me will put our link tree up and follow me wherever. Oh, we are expanding everywhere all the time. And if you want to find out where I am all the time, you can just click the link tree and all that. There's also there's a Discord. My Discord, if you want to keep up to date on when I'm going to be streaming, when I'm going live, or some interesting videos I post up, I will be on my Discord. I have some other rooms there too. I haven't really used, but I'm going to try to get back into them. But I say use it as a way to connect with me, talk to me about the podcast, talk to me about anything. If you hear anything, if you want to address something, feel free to come there. The invitation's there. It's always open. I'm always up for a good debate. That's why I decided to change this format. And then there's also the after show where we could talk for a little bit and we could go from there. I want to thank you all for coming. I just want to say, I send positive vibes to everyone. Positive energy. Take it. Take this positive energy. Because we all can use positive energy, and we can all use a pick-me-up. Because I feel like we've been in such dark times for a little while. and a divisive time. And we need to get back united. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. Next week, depending on my pain, I'm going to do a government episode. I'm going to do an episode on, is government necessary? Is having all these bureaucrats necessary? Would it be better to be ruled by a dictator? Would it be better to have no government at all? I'm going to kind of give my theories about that, and I'm also going to give a little update on everything going on around the world, just for a little bit. I'm really liking the freedom updates, and I'll be giving other freedom updates and seeing how everything is going so far, or life updates. I'll also try to be on Twitch. I really want to get back into Shadow of War, so I really want to get into that. And yeah, that's it for the podcast. Thank you everybody for stopping by, and I'll see you next episode of 6 Letter to Earth, where we want freedom to the earth, freedom to you, and most importantly, freedom to your mind. Thank you and have a good night. See you in the next episode. Love you all.